Well, we start here. Some residents of Musina in Limpopo want the government to implement measures aimed at controlling the movement of trucks on roads. This follows the collision between a bus and a truck in which 20 people were killed. Health authorities will today lead families in identifying the deceased. The bodies are at Tshilidzini Hospital mortuary near Thohoyandou. Let's bring in news reporter Lutendo Bobodi for an update. Lutendo, a good morning to you. It seems that the identification of these bodies continuing to be a really big challenge.
Yeah, now ladies, this is must be a very painful process. If you look at the continents on the faces of these family members who are here trying to identify the bodies of their loved ones, you see the body language quite distraught, quite jaded and depressed. But I'm going to talk to you a little more about that a little later. Now, let me just bring in MEC for Health in Limpopo, Dr. Phophi Ramathuba, who joins me now. MEC, thank you so much for making time. This process begins today. We hear that it's about 4 families today identifying the bodies of their loved ones. Can you talk to us about that process?
Actually, we started yesterday because in this particular hospital mortuary we received 20 remains of our loved ones, and out of those 20, 6 after being assessed by our forensic pathologists who were here from Polokwane, they could find that they were identifiable. That is why they immediately started with the post-mortem, and the bodies will be ready for collection by the families. We will also be working with Home Affairs. They will be here to make sure that for those ones, the 6, by the end of business today, they even have death certificate to can go and start with a funeral arrangement. But the 14 remains who were burned beyond recognition, what we did was yesterday we took all the bodies to Polokwane, our biggest forensic, where we've got what we call the Lodox machine is like an X-ray. Hence I'm saying the process started yesterday, where we had to do X-rays for all those bodies. They are back now here. We have invited all family members. We're working together with Venetia Mine and Marion and Roberts so that they can assist in locating the family members and transporting. They are arriving. You might have seen quite a number of them have already arrived. We are expecting around plus and minus around 100. The reason is because we need a next of kins, we need children, we need parents who are there so that we can start with the DNA collections, the sampling process. The team from Pretoria, South African Police Services, that is mandated to do the DNA, has already arrived now. So we will make sure we coordinate all the government departments that are responsible so that we make sure that, painful as it is, let's make the family not to feel the pain worse by delayed, especially when it comes to the process of identification involving the DNA.
You've met some of them, and I think you are now in a briefing with them. And what are you seeing? I was just talking now to my colleague that they look very jaded, very depressed, and very distraught. What are you seeing, and what is your message to them?
You know, the mere fact that the bus, which was either coming from work or going to work, perished, it simple tells you that you have lost breadwinners. You have lost honest South African citizens. You have lost people who were contributing towards building the economy of this country. Then to many family members who are here, I always say in terms of us as blacks, as Africans, on average, one person who's working, it's maintaining or supporting on average 7 individuals. Now you can calculate that 7 by 20. It will tell you, and I'm just saying on average, others are even more than that. We don't have extended families in our culture. Anyone, if it's your uncle, if it's your sister's children, you must raise them. If it's your brother's children who might have passed, you must raise them. So now we have added the number of orphans, the number of destitute, the number of families that will be going at night without bread. That's what this accident has done. So you can see even from our side the pain that we are going through. It's not only the pain that the family is going through. It is a difficult period for us. I met with our pathologist also. This is very difficult. It's a tough a period for them. They were saying to me, MEC, at the end of the day, while we are forensic pathologists, but we are equally human beings, and the pain that we are going through, when you look at these charred bodies, when you look at them, and you know, it affects you. That is why we had reinforced our team of as clinical psychologists. You can see I'm with the MEC for social development. We have mobilized enough social workers so that we try to do the debriefing. To some people, they have not yet, it has not yet come to reality, because grieving as a process, to some start with denial, then acceptance, and we are still going to have to do a lot of work even post the funeral. Hence, we felt the immediate task is to make sure, let's bring everybody together and deal with this identification process. And once it's done, and if we can have the positive identification process being concluded soon, it will assist us in terms of the grieving process.
Okay, and I know I'm ambushing you, but this hospital in particular here in November District has better forensic facilities. Is it coping though?
You know, this hospital, it's one of the hospital that is really feeling it. I was with the head of the forensic department, Dr. Mamashel, one of the best employees this Department of Health has ever produced. You'll remember there was a bus towards Musina with also workers from different shops, those who work in Makado, Luitrichat town. On their way back home, the bus got an accident, 22 perished. He was here first thing in the morning, and the only difference compared to this one is that the bodies could be identified. So we did this process, and they were able to do the postmortem. Within 48 hours, they were done. What he does, I should give credit to him. Immediately when a disaster befell us, he leave the office, he leave his diary, he drives, he mobilized other pathologists from different districts. The same when we had at Grobesdal that major accident of Kumbis at school children, we did the same. So even here, remember last week we had just completed the 19 autopsies that were done, the gunshot, those as a result of South African police services when they were fighting with those suspected criminal, and they did. This hospital managed to really deal and handle with such, and those are also complicated, not because you can't identify them, but they are complicated because where there is a police and a victim involved, you've got to do your thorough work, because tomorrow you'll find that our police, even if they were doing work to protect the citizens, they then tend to be accused, because you know people don't want to accept that your friend, your aunt, your cousin can be a criminal. When they are with you at home, you think they are honest citizen. So that work had to be done. So this hospital does not give me any doubt when it comes to forensic pathology, but we need to really equip them more and resource them more, because the people around this area, honestly, unnatural death here have become something that it is of a concern for us.
MEC, I want to just come in.
Thank you so much. That is MEC for Health here in Limpopo, talking about the whole process. Like I said, it's intricate and also a very painstaking process. But we're going to be sticking around, lady, and we'll give you more updates later on.
Yeah, have you spoken, just to stay with you a little bit longer there, Lutendo, if you'll let me, have you spoken to the family members and how are they coping with this identification process?
What we have done...
We haven't yet spoken with family members, but I can tell you that they are here and they are ready to speak to us. They are right now currently in briefing with officials from different departments, your health, your social development, even DB's company. And after that, they'll be speaking to us, and that's why I'm saying we'll be here. And after that, we'll be talking to them, and then we'll get to know how they're feeling. We'll get to gauge their feelings and their minds and just to know how they are feeling right now and how far along they are with the whole process.
All right, we look forward to getting that as well. Lutendo Bobodi, thank you so much for bringing us a very difficult story there coming out of Limpopo there.